coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Hey, man, shout out everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Woo! Boy, I'm fighting through these allergies, cold, whatever it is. And on top of that, I've been sitting here waiting to make this video for over an hour, man, because my power went out. We had a power outage in the neighborhood. So y'all don't know what I go through to get you this material, but yet I stayed fast. You heard me? Yeah, man. So blessings upon blessings, man. And salute to everybody, man, who support me, everybody who rock with me, everybody who tune in for this content, man. We pushing P, man. We just trying to save some people, trying to enlighten some people, trying to let them know what the world is like on the other side of that wall, so they never, ever, ever, ever want to be up inside them walls, man. So salute to TBP Nation, man, for holding me down, spreading this content. Listen, man. This is one of these classic examples, man, where they send a boy to do a man's job, you know. And this happens a lot in the penitentiary, especially in my latter years when the gang members and stuff started coming in there. This was like a regular thing, man. That's why I say it's never, never a good idea to join a gang or to be in a gang when you're in prison, because if you ain't at the apex, the top of the top, you gonna be taking orders, man, and them orders can get you X'd out. They can get you took out, man. And I can remember being up in the mountains, man, and the old head that used to be up there. I didn't know the old head personally. I knew of him, been around him, but he just such a grumpy like type dude. It ain't like a dude that you can connect with, you can really kick it with. He just, you got a lot of dudes in prison like that, man. They been down so long, they grumpy, man, they mean, they don't, you know what I'm saying, won't do a whole lot of kick it. You know what I'm saying? So you just rather not. So I knew him, but I didn't know him. His name was Floyd. I knew him, but I ain't never really chopped it up with him. The compounds that I was on with him over the years, I just used to see him playing pinochle with a bunch of other old heads. And all the other old heads that he be playing pinochle with, they be arguing and fussing and all this stuff too. But I knew he was a mean old joker, and you could tell he probably was like, man, he might have been 61, 62, somewhere early 60s, because he had been there in a minute. But you could tell that he was still like in good shape, like like he done worked out his whole bit. Probably had to, because he was mean, so he probably had to do a lot of scrapping in the day. You know what I'm saying? Probably had to do a lot of that. But so we up in the mountains, excuse me. Y'all know I'm under it. So we up in the mountains. So this is when these gang members was trying to take over the shower and the phones and stuff. Well, they weren't trying to. They did. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, normally it depends on what pod you in. If you in a pod with one of them jokers, this the head dude, he understand and he know and got the code. He know the code to respect the old timers, man. Because we not going for that, man. We not letting y'all come up in here. You can run your peers. You can run the dudes that came in here with you, these youngins that y'all can put the shake up on and all this and all that. But old timers, man, that been down 20, 30, 40 years, man, they not fighting at that stuff. They not trying to hurt that, man. You gonna mess around and, you know what I'm saying, and meet the end of that Bethlehem. You gonna be on the business end of that. Because, it's just insulting, period, that think you can come up in here 20, 21, 22 years old and tell somebody what to do, been in the penitentiary long, you been alive. Nah, it ain't going down like that. So being the old head was so grumpy and he got that look, you know what I'm saying? He got that look that he always walk around like, because he mad, you know what I'm saying? Been in the penitentiary forever. He got good reason to be mad, you heard? So I guess they didn't like him. So he go get in the shower one day, but he get in one of their showers, the blood shower. He in the shower, you know what I'm saying? So normally they got the blood dudes, Crip dudes, and all them dudes, GD, they watching the shower. They assign one dude to watch the shower. I guess they was on a break or whatever. They come back, he in the shower. So the youngin tell him, oh, hey, you in the morning shower, ain't you? He like, what? Man, you better get away from me, man. Don't talk about no shower. I get the shower any goddamn old shower I want to get in. You know what I'm saying? I am just telling you, this the blood shower, man. This ain't no penitentiary shower. Penitentiary shower. Ain't nobody got man. You better get on away from me, man. No toilet, but shower, man. You know, I'm in the news water, man. Go on, man. Tell you, man. Get your. You know what I'm saying? He going. So Youngin get mad. Youngin like, man, you think you talking? I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, man. What? Like he ready to come up out this joint. You know what I'm saying? So the other blood dude tell him, come on, no, don't do that, don't argue with it. Cause we in the mountains. And if people see you arguing, they gonna bust that gun. Huh? What? Y'all arguing? Y'all what? Hey, wanna fight? Wanna fight? Pow! You get on it. That's how they doing up there. They going dumb hard. They looking for a reason to bust you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like target practice to them. You know, half of them, most of them, 90% of them, all of them, racist. So if they can shoot a Negro with no penalty, you think they ain't gonna do that, man? They want you to argue. They want you to raise your voice. They want you to get the rumbling. They want to sick that dog on you. They want to bust that gun on you. They want you to, yeah. So they be loving it. So dude tell him, come on, man, no, I don't know why. He steady going though. And you don't need to argue. I ain't, man, you don't tell me when to get in no shower. I don't want to abide by that. I take a shower in the penitentiary. I've been in the penitentiary. Yeah, and he just going, and I guess that got them to feeling some type of way. So guess they come up with some old idea. They plot, okay, all right, we'll fix him. We'll fix him. You know what I'm saying? We'll fix him. Don't worry about it. Now, he in the cell with another old dude, right? This old dude is an old white dude. Old white dude, I don't know what he in there for, but if you had to guess, it wasn't that you really want to talk about. But he mind his own business. He probably about late 60s and 70s. He barely hobbling around. So when the doors open, he just come out there, say that Tay be drinking coffee. You know what I'm saying? He don't bother nobody nothing. I guess that's why they put him in there too. Old dudes. I don't know how long the white dude was locked up. I didn't even know him. I never even seen him till I got up there. So I guess they plotted on the old boy like, okay, we gonna get him, we gonna fix him. You know, and this where the dummy mission come in. They be sending boys to do a man job, and they be sending dudes on crash out missions, almost get them took out. They be sending them on crash out missions. I.e., let me back up. Remember when I told y'all they had put the big youngin, big old muscle dude, I think his name was Hot Rod, they put him in the cell with Yard Man. Cause they ain't like Yard Man because they ain't like the way he was moving. The truth of the matter is they was scared of Yard Man because Yard Man ain't kneel down to nothing and he walking around looking like, and he catch them dudes looking at it, he look right back and, huh? The pilot? He gonna say something. And they was scared of him and then they seen that the Virgin Island dudes was scared of him. So they was like, ah. They get nervous purpose around certain dudes they probably want to get rid of. So I guess Hot Rod came in there and feel like, oh, I can help him. And y'all man said came over and they should go up there, get him. Man, went up in that cell and thought he was gonna handle y'all man, cause y'all man ain't muscular like, but he big though. Yeah, like 6'4". He big, but he just look like almost beat the skin off of him up in that joint. He took us in the door like, get the door, blood. You see him get snatched away from the door like, ah! Oh, you heard boom, 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 boom. Man, y'all man almost crushed him in there. So that's what I say in that gang stuff. You gotta take orders, man. You a grown man, you know what I'm saying? For all intents and purposes, no matter how old you is in penitentiary, you grown man, because you ain't grown man business. You know what I'm saying? So this bird brain scheme they come up with. So they give one of the little youngest who don't weigh nothing but probably about 150 pounds with a brick in his pocket. But they thinking because old head is old, that's all it takes. And they give him one of them things and tell him, man, he like to stay up in that cell. You know what I'm saying? When them doors open, put the white dude out. When the doors open, see, they give us a cell break. When they bust the doors open and you come out for wreck, your doors will stay open, then the doors will close. You get about 5 minutes, right? So dudes will plot on you so they'll wait for the doors to get ready to close, which really is a death trap. If you ain't got 100% victory, it's a death trap. Because if you go in somebody's cell and try to do something to them and you get locked up in there and they take you out, it's the penitentiary. They're going to try to charge you this, that, and that, but you got a great defense. You got a great defense. I'm in my own cell. He don't supposed to be in here, especially if he got a weapon. He got a weapon. He came in here, tried to hurt me. I defended myself. You got a great defense. But in the penitentiary, you gonna go through it anyway. You going through all the challenges. You going back in the hole. You gonna be back there. You gonna be fighting the case. They gonna be trying to convict you because they gotta cover their self. So, but you got a great defense, and that's always been known in the penitentiary. Don't want nobody saying get trapped up in there, and you know what I'm saying. You ain't got 100% victory because you get took out. You just gonna get took out. So they done told him get over there by the door, wait for the doors get ready closed, go up in there and poke him up. You know what I'm saying? Poke the old man up. They trying to stab a 6-7-year-old dude. Anyway, they tell you how diabolical they is. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't trying to do it. You sending a youngin to do it. That boy went no more like 23, 24 years old. Right? And like I said, 150 pounds soaking wet unless he got a brick in his pocket. Right? So and then they give him a little bitty old poker. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude ain't been in the penitentiary for 30-something years and survived and still talking greasy and nasty and smart. That man knows something, man. He knows something. If you got common sense, he knows something. He know how to survive. If nothing else, he knows how to survive. They don't think like that. So sure enough, the white man come out, stand on the line and say, hey, y'all start moving. Get to moving. Go in there, sit at the joint. They closing the door. He over there acting like he play, and he dip up in the cell. They told him, now, truth be told, they might have told him because he stayed right close to him right next to where he could play it off and dip in there. But they should have sent somebody else. He too little, he too fragile, he was scared. You could tell he was nervous purpose. So when the door closes, he slides in there when it cracked. He slides in there with the joint. And I guess old head had his head turned, he started hitting them. Bang, bang, bang. They standing in the pod where they can look, and they looking and got somebody looking at the booth to make sure, you know what I'm saying, if the people is alerted by the noise or whatever, I guess they anticipated him hollering and screaming or whatever, then they could, you know, tell him, hey, hold it, you know, woo, play it off. Man, he run up in there and hit old head. The old head his back turned. He just, I guess he hit him a couple times. Man, old head sprinting around on the man and got there, get on, grabbed him and bagged him up. You can hear the boom, because he bagged him, drive him all the way back to the door and let the door close. He's inside old head's cell. But you can see his back up against the window like this. You can see his back up against the window. And man, he got him by the neck and he jamming his head up against the window. Bang, bang, bang. Then you see him just snap. And he done threw him on the ground. And the little knife done fell out and he beating the living daylights out of him. Man, and he leaking. He bleeding all out his back. You know what I'm saying? I guess one of them hit him like up top, like in the knee, bleeding out his neck, he bleeding out his back. But he beating the brakes off old boy, man. He done beat him unconscious, beat him back to consciousness. His whole face a bloody mess, man. Then he done grabbed him and pulled him up to the door. He done picked the knife up. He done started telling them, y'all, that's what y'all want to do? I kill him up in here. I kill him. He got dude face up at the joint, man. Bloody and everything. And they looking at him, they tell him, leave him, let him go. He a dude in there, he can't even talk. He like, and he like, start poking. I kill him. Start poking this little young boy, man. He got him in there like a rag doll. I kill him up here. I kill all y'all. I kill you, man. You don't play with me, man. Poking him. Man, you talk about wanting to get in that cell so bad. I wanted my door to get open immediately. I wanted to get, because I know the cavalry gonna come when all this come out and everything on the floor gonna get, you know what I'm saying, gonna get maced. You know what I'm saying? The stuff gonna be all of you. Gonna have to try to cover your face up and lay down. You know, be able to breathe. Probably be laying out there on the floor, man, for 2 hours where they trying to sort all this out. Dogs walking up. That's why I ain't like to go out in the block up there in the mountains. Because tomfoolery like this pop off and you stuck. You stuck if you out there. See what I'm saying? So, man, he just handling, man. He poking him. Man, I want to get in the cell so bad. I think I was playing chess with Big John, who lays out. My homeboy shout out to Big John. And John like, oh, he got the little John mouth. Oh, man, it's going down. It's definitely going down. And, man, he just, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get all of you. I'm going to get all you, mother. And keep poking, man. I said, look, he going to die, man. He gonna kill young. He gonna kill young. Young and went limp. You look over there at the door, the dudes they standing over there acting like they chopping it up, like, man, let him go. All right, you got him. You got him over here, let him go. Let him go. Come on, you won't deal with us, deal with us. He like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Nah. Man, I don't know how many times he got poked, but it just was so much noise and stuff like that, and then bam. That means the police get ready to make a round. Police coming to make a round, come in that joint, looking all around, tobacco chewing Bama. Tobacco chewing bootlegger come up in there and get there walking, and he looking and he can feel something. You could tell his demeanor is pick up his pace. He ain't looking at himself. He just walking. He trying to look where everybody else peeking. And get to the cell, he heard old head holler, and he get to that cell. Hey. Everybody, back to yourself. So the old dude is sleeping in his cell. He don't even know what to do. He's terrified. He just sitting there. You can see him physically trembling. He said, hey, where your cell at? Wait. He's out sleeping there. Sit down, don't move. Say, get on the ground. Get on the ground. Oh man, he out of shape and everything. He got to get in there. Get down. And he taking his time to try to get in. He got to lay down. Everybody else standing by the door. He just busted doors open. He telling dude, leave him alone, leave him alone. Old head in there, snap. I kill him. Knock. He going down. He going down the big way. Now, it's not funny, but it's like, this is what you're going to be facing because he didn't ask to be in this position. He just wanted to take a shower. But now he got holes in him and he's snapping. He done blanked out. He done blanked out. And there's a man in his cell that don't supposed to be in his cell. But it's a young dude. See what I'm saying? It's a young dude that'll put his life on the line for some other young dudes that's gonna continue doing their bit. And if he survives, they ain't gonna have the trauma and the holes and the battle wounds and that he gonna have to survive from that if he survived from that. They not gonna have that. They just gonna have a story to tell. You understand? Cause man, I was so glad when them doors busted open. I went up in that cell so fast. I'm like, man, we might not come back out by this joint for the rest of the week. And they start bumbling in there. Police after police. Police after police. Dog after dog. You know what I'm saying? They up on the tower with the gun. They come up in that joint. They got the big what you call it? The riot mace cans and stuff. Get everybody. They going from door to door, checking doors. They come to the door and they tell dude, back up, get on the floor. Get on the floor and lay down. Get on the floor and lay down. They bust the slide open and spray the mace up in the joint. I don't know if he got it or not. I can't see in the cell, but they sprayed the mace up in through the slot, through the door. You know what I'm saying? And the man said, oh, I can hear him say, I'm down. I'm down. They bust the door. They run up in there, jump on him. I guess whole time now. Another one grab the dude and drag him out. They dragging him out. He a bloody mess. He ain't even conscious. They drag that man bloody body up out that joint and cuff him up, laying down there like that, bleeding like that, unconscious, man. You gonna put some cuffs on. What he gonna do? What can he possibly do? You know what I'm saying? They drag old head out. You know what I'm saying? They jerk him up, get him to his feet. They got one on one arm, one on the other arm. They leading him out there. They walking so fast, his feet drag. His feet dragging. They dragging. Get him up out there. Medical people come running up in there. They get the little boat and everything. They ain't even actually running. They just walking fast. Get the little boat. Roll the little boy on the boat. The boy still unconscious. Handcuffs still behind his back. Told him on about there. Blood everywhere. They send the what you call it the cleanup people, hazmat people up in there, clean up, blood going to cell, clean up. They take the cell, man, leave the cell right there. Old white man still out. he's, he's still out there sitting at the table like this. They tell him, don't you move. Don't you move. Don't get up from that table. You know what I'm saying? So he's sitting there, he's scared to death. They get the cell cleaned up and everything. They go in there, call him over there, pack the dude's stuff up, take his stuff out. Go in little youngest cell, pack his stuff, take his stuff out. We ain't come back out the cell, man, for a day and a half. A day and a half, and it's right back to normal business. Right back to normal business. So the same dudes that sent them in there, they still out here. Ain't suffer no pain, no suffering, no injury, no pushback, no charge, no nothing. But had that boy not did what they told him to do, they would have did the same thing to him the old head ended up doing to him. So it was all futile. It was all for nothing. It was all for nothing. It was all to get old head out the way. In that part, the mission was accomplished. But to get him out the way, you sacrifice your own. You sacrifice your own, but this supposed to be one of your brothers. If let the way you tell it, you had to sacrifice your own to get him out the way. And your own might not never even recover. You know what I'm saying? Now we up while it's red, so they ain't, you ain't gonna really get no information like, oh, he died with it. They don't care. They ain't gonna tell you. You can't even ask them, man, what happened to old dude there? To like, they what? You asking me for? You know, so you don't. We on lower land, you will know. Oh man, he intensive care. Oh man, they had the helicopter. They're gonna tell you. The police gonna tell you. These police, they ain't tell you nothing because they don't care. They look at all us the same. Like anyway, we don't care nothing about you. You know, in words, we don't care. Kill each other. You know, we just come scrape it up. That's their mentality. But that just goes to show you how the penitentiary is, man. You know what I'm saying? You get caught up in them games. You get caught up in living and not doing your bit yourself. You got to be able to determine your own fate, man. I won't let nobody else tell me what to do. Nobody else tell me what to do. You already got to do what the administration tell you to do. You never let a fool tell me what to do and risk my life or get more time or get killed for a fool that's still doing it, man. No, sir. He don't be able to go back home. The life of the penitentiary,
the Banky special. Yeah, pure delicious. Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.